So, what keeps you up at night?
The lack of urgency for people who share my melon reflection concerning the opportunity they have at this point in time, this moment in history.
Yeah, right.
I don't think they understand how much better they can do just by making very simple choices. Mm-hmm. And instead, you would rather look the part than be the part. And that, to me, it hurts me at my soul. Like, I don't understand it at all.
Yeah.
Particularly when I'm talking to certain people in a certain age bracket, maybe, between 18 and 25, where they kind of think they know it all. I've been that before.
Yeah.
And you really want to just pour out your brain and put it in them, but it doesn't work that way.
Don't you hate when an undeveloped brained ass person starts acting like they know everything, man? And you know for a fact at your age that their brain is not developed to actually be able to use their brain as effectively as they think that they can use their brain.
Well, I don't presume that degree of hubris, because I understand the difference between people being intelligent and people being smart. Someone who's intelligent is born with a certain command of mental acuity. So they just get it. It's easy for them. These are the people who never have to study for tests, who just acquire knowledge.
My sister was like that.
Yeah, they study, and it just augments what they're already capable of. But the vast majority of the human populace, they just are smarter, have the potential to be smart. And the problem with that is they learn by memorization. And unless they continue that repetition, they lose it over time.
That's a fact.
So when I'm having conversations with people, I already know I'm intelligent. Numbers and computers and tech has always made sense to me. It's almost like Neo in the Matrix. Numbers just speak to me when I look at them. They just intuitively make sense.
Right.
And it's not something that I can explain to someone else. So when I'm speaking to someone, at the cost of sounding condescending sometimes, I intentionally dumb down what I'm thinking in terms of the numbers to explain and meet my audience where they are.
Right.
Because it's very necessary to have that conversation.
Yeah, it is. So let's shoot some things out the sky right quick.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the rifle, man. With the scope on it, the 50 cal. We gonna knock some shit out the sky, man. And so, what are things that you listen to? You like, that shit need to get knocked out the sky. We need to stop thinking that now, like right now, today. What is that?
But there's three things. The first, and this was about 7 months ago, I heard this in a lot of clubhouse rooms that was floating around social media in general. This notion that black men were basically sexually assaulting and murdering black women at a rate of 1 per 6 hours. And that's not true. Numbers don't bear that out at all.
Okay.
It doesn't justify the fact that any of that violence occurs at all at any level, but the numbers are far lower than what people think they are. At no point in U.S. history have we ever had more than 10,000 murders that were less than war, unless you go back far enough, like Reconstruction days, things of that nature.
Okay. Where do they get that information from, you think?
It's an offshoot of fourth wave feminism, just this kind of idea that all men are just born and inherently evil and just out to just overpower and lord over everything that moves, particularly if it has ovaries. And that's the thought. I don't understand it because its entire predilection is based off of the concept of an existing patriarchy, and patriarchy doesn't exist.
So you say patriarchy doesn't exist. That's the argument right there.
It doesn't. So a patriarchy is a system of society in which men hold all the power and women are largely excluded from it. And what we actually see in real life are oligarchies, where we have powerful women that are part of those oligarchies. So we have small groups of people, including men and women, that hold the majority of the power, and everyone else is just at their behest. So now you start to have more of a classism conversation as opposed to racism. But when I talk to most of my brothers and sisters, they're so ingrained with the notion of race that they want to talk about it being systematic. And that's also a misnomer. It's endemic, but it's not systematic. It's part of the system. It permeates parts of the system very heavily, but it's not the system itself.
Okay. So what would you say, what is the system itself?
The system itself is your ability to divide the wheat from the chaff. Do you have assets or do you not have assets? That's it.
So the have and the have-nots.
Yeah, someone sitting on $5 million is not concerned about people getting shot in the street or anything like that. They can buy their justice and get themselves out of any situation that they find themselves in. It's a very different existence altogether.